everyone, it's me Anushka. Welcome back to another video from the NIFT series. I asked all of you guys to send me questions regarding the NIFT Situation Test, and I received a lot of questions not just regarding the Situation Test but also NIFT in general. So in today's video I'm going to answer all of these questions, and I hope my answers are beneficial, and I also hope that you like this video. And well, without any further ado, let's get started. Begin with answering the questions, I would like to share some general information about the situation test. So once you pass the first phase of the NIFT entrance examination, which was the CAT and GAT, you sit for the situation test, which is the second phase examination. It has a 20% weightage, but it plays a very important role in determining your rank, so you have to perform equally well in the situation test as well. Also, the situation test takes place for 3 days or 2 days depending upon the examination center that you register for, but it doesn't really matter because the questions are never repeated. But also, personally, I feel that it is always better not to register yourself for the first day, because then you get an idea of what the type of questions can be like. But again, it doesn't really matter because the questions are never repeated. So moving on to the questions, the first question is, how did you practice for the situation test? So as I have said in my last videos, I used to go to BRES Kolkata. So we had practice sessions for the situation test as well, and I would go there every day, and our faculty would give us some question and we would solve it accordingly, and that is how I prepared for the situation test. I used to also practice a lot after coming back home. I used to look at previous year question papers just to get an idea of what kind of questions are usually asked, and I used to practice them. I used to also practice a lot of craft by looking at YouTube videos and all of that, and well, that is how I would practice. And talking about the materials, I would usually practice with clay, wire, thermocol, mound board, colored sheets, ice cream sticks, beads and so on. So I would basically practice with all of these materials, and I would look at question papers and some YouTube videos, and I would just keep practicing. Next question. We need to practice making models, clay models, etc. But what more to practice? So yeah, basically you need to make models, but what you can stress on more is composition models, like a painter studio, a classroom or something like that, because it helps you understand a lot of things, and it preps you up for time management, optimum utilization of materials and so on. Next question, can we bring our own materials? No, they will provide you a material kit. All that you can carry is like a pair of scissors, Fevicol, cutter and so on. I will make a video on the things that you can carry for the situation test soon, so well, you can watch that whenever it comes out. How was your experience? Well, my experience was nice. When I sat for the situation test last year, when my rank was really bad, my experience wasn't good at all. I remember I made like a park bench for a senior citizen, and I was so bad at it that the park bench did not even stand properly. Basically, it was a very bad experience, and I kind of knew that my rank won't be good. But last year, my experience with the situation test was amazing. I completed the entire thing on time, and it looked so finished and clean. So I was quite proud about myself, and I could definitely see a difference in myself. How to make the write-up fun to read? So basically in the write-up you have to describe about what your model is basically, and how did you use the materials to implement your concept. The best way to make your write-up stand out is by keeping it brief and subtle. You need to keep it sweet and simple and not keep on elaborating, and also use good grammar and good vocab, and well, your write-up will be amazing in that way. Next question, what kind of questions to expect, and what's the best way to approach and do them? So the questions that are usually asked revolves around product design or like a composition design, like an interior design sort of thing. And the best way to approach them is by coming up with good concepts. Also, you need to be able to implement those concepts through your models. And talking about your models, make optimum usage of the material that is given to you. That is like one of the main things that you need to keep in your mind. and also keep it really neat and clean. It must look really finished and organized, and also the write-up matters a lot, so you need to keep it sweet and subtle, as I said before. What percentage should we get in CAT and GAT to qualify for the situation test? I think you need to get minimum 50% of marks in order to qualify for the situation test. What should I practice more for the situation test? What are the most common questions? Well, the questions are not really common, but they usually ask for product models, or like, as I said, some composition model like a studio or like a window display and stuff like that. You can have a look at previous year question papers and your idea will be much clearer. What was the question last year? So as I said, the situation test takes place for like 3 days, and I sat for the situation test on the second day as much as I remember. And the question on my day was make a model depicting the working space of an ironing lady, and there were 2 other options, and there was another question altogether which was regarding some futuristic window display or store design. So the question that I attempted for was the workspace for an ironing lady, and my concept was that usually when we think of an ironing lady's workspace, something primitive or subtle comes to our mind. I wanted to transform this entire vibe into a modern and organized workspace, and that is what I wanted to portray through my model. The next question is how to make it different from others. I think the best way to make it different from others is the way you represent your concept, and again, keep it really clean and organized. That is very, very important. The next question is, we have to carry our own scissors, glue, etc. Yes, you need to do so. Next question, how much time you should set aside for the writing part? Now it depends upon person to person. I don't take much time in writing because I was already into a lot of blogging and stuff. So I think 5 minutes or 10 minutes was enough for me. I think you should not take more than 20 minutes for the write-up. So the maximum time that you should allot for the write-up is 15-20 minutes. What is asked mainly in the test? So you're basically asked to make a model using the materials that are given to you on spot, and that is all the situation test is about. I have a lot of questions regarding what I made in my model last year, so I have already answered that. So moving on to the next question, on what basis we can make our model stand out from the rest of the crowd? What all aspects are judged, and how are the models marked by the examiners? So I think few of the things that are very important is again the concept, how organized and how clean does it look. Also keep the space around your model really clean, because presentation also plays a very important role, and also optimum usage of materials. So your write-up, the concept, the presentation and cleanliness matters a lot, and these are some key criteria on which your model will be judged. What are the materials that they usually provide? So the materials that they usually provide are like thermocol, mound board, cardboard, colored sheets, wire, beads, ice cream sticks and bamboo sticks and stuff like that. So do not worry, you just try and make use of all the materials and just believe that you can put your ideas into implementation. Does coaching help in situation test? Yes, it does obviously, but it all comes down to how much you are practicing. So I think practice plays a very important role. So a lot of people have been asking me how much did I score in my 12th boards. I scored 96.2%, best of 5. So moving on to some other general questions. What is the environment at the hostel? Now it depends from one hostel to another and one center to another, but the vibe in my hostel is nice. We have a lot of facilities in the NIFT Mumbai hostel, and well, it's really nice. Somebody has asked me, I'm really nervous for the results, please tell me what should I do. So just calm down and believe in yourself. You cannot undo what you have already done in the first phase of the examination. So the best way to move ahead in life is to not worry and look forward. Just start practicing for the situation test, and even if you don't qualify for the situation test, do not worry, there are thousands of backup options that are available to you. You just need to sit down and think about it. You can also watch my previous video regarding the other colleges that you can apply for in case if you don't get into NIFT. Just don't worry and believe in yourself. So I think that was all about the answers that I had to give. I received a lot of similar questions like what should we practice, or what are the questions like, or what should we actually do in order to get good marks or a good rank, or what did I do when I sat for the situation test. So I am not going to answer them repeatedly. I think I have generalized all these questions and provided answers for it. So I hope you liked it and I hope it was beneficial. And well, thank you for watching this video, and until next time, bye bye.